This could be big. And I'm talking about the setup as we head into this week, into really next weekend and the following week across the West with our first piece of energy that's going to bring some rain, some snow here. And I'm telling you what, watch this trough as it moves to the east. The last couple of model runs have tried to tilt this negative, and that could mean a big East Coast snowstorm. So let's talk about that. Before we get there, I want to show you where this piece of energy is here that's moving into the southeast. Now what? Look at the date above me. This would be next week. So it's not like we're looking 10 days out now. We're starting to get into that 6 to 7 day time frame on forecasting when you start to pay attention to things. I'm going to back all this up to where we are right now because I want to show you as we head into Sunday night, here is the energy that would be your East Coast storm. It's still just south and west of the Aleutian Islands here in Alaska. Look where this has to go. It has to travel down the Pacific. It almost tries to cut off a little bit, or I should say down the west coast here. I'm just going to trace it out as it goes just west of California. All right, so this is going to bring likely some wind, some snow, some rain here. All right, so let's continue to track this piece of energy, this wave. You can see how it's now diving into the Four Corners states. I do think this is going to bring some precipitation here, so that's what I'm talking about. This could not just be big for the east, but I think there's another one behind this, and we're also going to feel impacts with this across the west. So let's keep tracking it. Now we're looking at Friday. So I think at this point, you'll start to have a lot better handle when you look at the models or I should say the models will have a lot better handle of where this is going because you're going to get better sampling of the atmosphere at this point in time. Now look at this. It's moving all the way across the south. So where did it start? It moved all the way from here. It's got a long way to go, but it's something worth tracking this week. And let me show you something. Let's stop here. I don't want to stop talking about the West. This looks really impressive across not just the West Coast, but possibly further inland too, into the Rockies, into the Great Basin, and that could mean more snow. What about areas further to the east? I think it's a little hard to tell once you get toward the central part of the country, but this is a pretty active pattern. And I'm telling you, when you look long range, when you start to get towards the end of the month, I know it's getting to late February, the south, some of you saying winter's over. I get it. The sun is getting super strong. Your chances of big winter storms are closing. And look, I don't see anything in the south in the next week or so at this point. Certainly not. But that's an interesting look as we head toward the end of the month when we're looking at the ensemble guidance today. Still looking relatively cold. That looks below normal as we get through the middle and the end of the month at this point. Let's track these systems individually. I'll show you the precipitation too. Let's get in a little bit closer here. Here's a wider view of North America, and I want to show you this system that is moving into the west right now. That's going to bring the wind, the rain, and the snow here first as we head, into Tuesday into Wednesday. And some of that could be heavy too, especially into the highest elevations here of the Sierra Nevada, north up into the Cascades. Some of the snow could be heavy at times too. Let's back it up now that we're zoomed in just a touch closer. We do have high pressure drifting through the northeast. Warmer temperatures too are starting to be felt at least as far north as Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. Tuesday to me looks to be the warmest day here before this next front moves through. It's going to bring some light snow through the Great Lakes here into parts of southern Ontario, into Quebec too, also into the northeast, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. A few inches of snow out of this. But the snow is going to get heavy, I think, here into the highest elevations of California, also into the Wasatch of Utah, Colorado, into the Rockies. We're going to get some snow out of this. It's been a while since we've seen a forecast with any precipitation really out here. So there are definitely some changes. Across the south central U.S., pretty warm here. I don't see a lot of change here. And you can see a little bit of rain moving through Texas, some rain showers moving through the south, really Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. Temperatures are going to cool down as this high builds in. And then we deal with snow showers behind this. Now, once we get toward Friday and Saturday, I think at this point we're looking into the southwest. What happens with this piece of energy as it moves across the country? Do we end up seeing some kind of big East Coast snowstorm? It's too early to tell at this point. But I'm looking, and I'll show you why. The GFS also during this same time period has got this as well. Okay, so let's refine this over the next couple of days. Subscribe and come back. This is something that I'm going to be tracking across the West. One thing that I'm also feeling pretty confident about, a lot more confident every day, is this active pattern that keeps the storms coming in here with more precipitation. So this looks a lot different than what we've seen so far this winter across the West with the snow. Hey, it might even put the snow into Arizona, so maybe up towards Flagstaff, into parts of New Mexico, West Colorado. You get up here, I don't know if it's going to snow all the way down to the valley floor, into places like Salt Lake City. This is colder than it's been, but this isn't like super, super Arctic cold moving in. I would just say maybe just normal cold. If anything, it's maybe just a touch still above average as we're seeing some rain here in the valley floors for places like Salt Lake City. And the GFS starts to just wind things up too. So I do think there are multiple chances for snow over the coming weeks beyond what we're even looking like right now. And March could be wild, in my opinion. And that could be with severe weather too. Here's the snow across the west over the next couple of days. This is through Tuesday morning. Look what's happening across the Sierra. The snow picking up. It could be heavy at times. And if you look at this, look how high the snow levels are, right? You kind of see it in the Cascades. You can see it here into the Wasatch too. I want to push this ahead in time because look what the Europeans trying to do as we head into next week. I mean, it's really trying to put a lot of snow out here. So big changes. Some light snow into the Northeast. We've talked some about that moving through not just the Northeast, but also into the UP of Michigan. I don't think it gets it down into Detroit, and it looks to be northeast of Toronto, but Montreal could see some snow out of this. Excuse me. The Tug Hill Plateau, probably going to see a little bit of snow out of this too, in the Green and White Mountains. A couple of inches, and hey, we might even see 5-6 inches of snow for places like the Tug Hill into, I don't know if we get into the Finger Lakes, but a couple of inches in this area anyway, and into down East Maine, 2 to 4 through now and Thursday. Here's a look at your temperatures. This is going to be brutally cold tomorrow morning across western PA. Temperatures, these are not wind chills. I had to double take this. Waking up to 10, 15 below, possibly. I mean, Philadelphia is going to be cold too. Philadelphia could be close to 0, if not, but Pittsburgh, maybe 10 below tomorrow morning with the air temperatures. Get into the mountains here where things really calm down into those deeper valleys as that cold air pools. Man, we could get 15 close to 20 below. We are warming up tomorrow. So look at the temperatures wherever you are. You're probably a little bit warmer tomorrow. Even into the Northeast, we start to see that cold retreat some. Eventually, we start to warm up a little bit further to the north. Now, as we get into Tuesday, we start to see that cooler air work in from the north. So I think your warmest day across southern Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee will be Tuesday. We start to see that chillier air work in, and we knock our numbers back down across these areas back into the 40s and 50s. And then the cold moves in. This is kind of setting the stage for what I'm thinking this weekend. It's something we'll have to watch. Look how your temperature difference zone is setting up across the south. That baroclinicity increasing, the thermal gradient tightening up. And this is what I think is interesting. This could be a sign. Now, this is just looking into the weekend. Look at this warm nose of air. If you guys are in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, you guys kind of know what this means, right? I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but it looks like one of those what we call the Miller B system, right? Miller A is the big storm that just cranks up and moves up the coast. Miller B, it's a type of storm. It's the area of low pressure that moves almost just to the west of the Appalachians. As it does so, as this upper level energy moves in, your surface low develops along the coast and moves north. To me, that's what it's already looking like, even this far out. But let's see. That's just the temperature profiles at this point. And then behind this, notice how it stays cold, but boy, it tries to rebound again toward the 17th, and we may just do it all over again with more cold cranking in. March coming in like a lion? I don't know at this point. Maybe so. March may just be a bear to begin with. Can we call it a bear? Is that? I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be a lion the whole month. Okay. Here's where we are across the central U.S. Look at these temperatures tomorrow. Upper 60s across Nebraska. This will be the warmest day this week across this area. We do get cold as we get into Tuesday morning. You go from near 70 to 20 across southern Nebraska into Kansas with highs in the 30s and 40s on Tuesday afternoon. The warmth gets squelched to the south now across Arkansas, Louisiana, even Texas. Austin may get close to 80, also into San Antonio. And then we see things start to warm back up a little bit across Kansas, back up into the 40s and 50s. Further to the west, again, out here, this is where temperatures have been relatively mild over the last several weeks, I would argue maybe months, and it's not going to change much, at least through tomorrow. As we head into the morning hours, temperatures dropping back still above average at night. Highs tomorrow, a little bit cooler. And as we get into now Tuesday and Wednesday, I think that's when you're going to really start to feel it again. It'll really start to punch in by the end of the week. But it's not Arctic cold, right? Look, it's colder, but that's not record-breaking cold by any stretch. If anything, I think it's just enough to get some precipitation out here, some rain and some snow, and certainly some wind. So that's what we're looking like. All right, that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new, hope you'll come back and subscribe. I'll leave you with this. A quick look at the long range. I do like to look at these occasionally. These are this is the European weekly height anomalies. And again, once we get toward the end of the month, we looked at the ensemble guidance at the very beginning of the video. It had the idea that we would likely see this trough kind of connect back from the west or from the east back to the west. And then heading into the end of the month, you kind of can see this trough here. A lot of blocking across Greenland, a lot of high heights. That's what I'm talking about. And when we go into March, are we looking stormy? My opinion, at this point, I would say yes. It's free 99, guys. Doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, and you didn't pay anything for this, so you can throw it away. That's just my opinion. It's what I think. Everybody's entitled to one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one wherever you are. See you next time.